Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. The Panthers hope by the end of today's game they'll have secured win number 1 on the season. It's the Eagles going up against the Panthers. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
Larry, with a beautiful skyline towering just to the right of us, you get a look inside Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in wondering what on earth is going on here as they sit in last place at 0-7.
And it's really difficult to report to work every day with that type of a losing streak looming over you. How do you break out of it? And you're looking at each other to try and figure it out.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's carry number 1 for Kenneth Dixon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Second down following the run.
Who needs help when you got D like this?
Not my house.
Out of the gun, Newton. And right away, he lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Here's Newton.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. On first down, Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. And on 2nd and 10 now. And the back goes into motion.
Ram. Watch the ship. Ram.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Melvin Ingram in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
4 down. Check.
Hey, Lou.
Check 3.
Hey, kill. Hey, 4-2, kill.
Kill.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Flushed out right.
Check. Lucky.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And now a first down following that long gain. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. Able to fight through one tackle. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, let's see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Fancy footwork at the 45, and getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now a first down throw for Newton. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second down now after the pass completion. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
We got 4.
On second down, it's Dixon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Oh. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Dixon again. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
Hey, 80's yours. 80's yours. We got heavy. Everybody scoot up. Heavy.
Back to throw. Newton under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Boom. That's how we do
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long.
Pump it up, baby. Let's get some. Get up, crowd.
A shotgun snap for Newton. And he's going to go down again. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. And from down in Miami, an update. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Here we go. 120. 4
Throwing on first is Wentz. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Cool. All that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Key to tight end. Key to tight end.
Here we go. Back man.
Four down. Four down. Check. Four down. Four down.
Wentz. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And he is down deep into Carolina territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Left. Watch left.
Here we go. Back man. Blue 80.
Guys, pick it up.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. The offense on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Even. 4 down. Even. I got 40.
Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
Wentz to throw for it on fourth. And that is going to be incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt, and the Panthers will get the football back. Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest.
Hey, come on now. We got 4 down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Room here to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Double tight, double tight.
Set.
Four down. Check.
What do you...
On 1st and 10, Newton. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tight right.
Here we go.
Four down.
180.
Alert.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go. Back man. Forward, Tokyo.
Back 55.
Hey, Lou.
Nice,
Here
sweetheart.
we go. Back man. Waiting.
Switch.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Tight dog.
Here we go. Back man. 180.
Check. 55.
Forward, Tokyo. 180.
Check. 55.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Sunday.
Check 31.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Check 25. Kill. Check safety.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This will be fielded at the 8. And now running right through him. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They stay on the ground with Dixon. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Newton on third down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. He sets to fire deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they... And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Ball start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on third down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be fourth down. So on fourth down, Doug Marrone going to send out his field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased. Around the NFL, second quarter in Atlanta. And the Falcons have opened up the lead there to a couple of scores. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total.
Here we go.
Go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Let's go. Red 38.
And he is knocked down from the side. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Here we go, here we go. Hey, 4 Tokyo! 240, 82, 40. Ramp.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
4 down.
Back man. 180. Ram.
Watch the safety creep.
Hey, ram.
Check.
Wentz now to throw.
Double up. Keep coming, double up.
Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45.
Pick, baby. You see it all day. Pick.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
On the ball.
Check 50.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On second down, here's Newton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
180.
A final shot before the break, Newton. And that is incomplete. So we've reached, and never mind, Larry. These 2 teams apparently anxious to get back at it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter.
Run.
Let's get this.
4 Tokyo.
Switch.
Hey, ram.
Hey, switch gears.
Here.
Wentz now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right.
Big Ed.
And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Here we go. Back man.
4 down.
They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Robert Quinn coming in from his outside linebacker spot. He buries him for a loss of 10 or 11. On play action, it's Wentz. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 43 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or 2 in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Right back to Dixon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Funches with a catch over the middle. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
2 times, 2 times. 4 down, 4 down.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
On 3rd and short, it's Dixon. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Again, it's Miller. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Throwing is Newton. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Melvin Ingram in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Here we go. 180.
Four down. Check.
Now a play fake. Wentz. He'll buy some time right. And he's got his man in stride, complete. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
120.
Sunday. Going 85. Watch 85.
Hey, Lou.
Yeah, let's go.
They do go for it. It's Wentz. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Here we go. Lion.
Four down.
Here,
Alert.
shift.
Watch safety green.
They fake the give. Now Wentz going for the deep ball. A swing pass caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Watch
Watch edge.
Like 80.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Looking to throw on second down. Newton under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Four down.
Set. 180.
Third and long, it's Newton. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. He'll take it at the 42. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Here we go, here we go.
Four down, check. Four down.
Now they try the right side here. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting...
And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's going to be met at about the 43. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38.
55 is mine, guys. 55.
Gets past one man. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Time running out here on the play clock. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
1st and goal here from the 9.
Double tight, double tight.
Here we go, back. Ram.
Hey. 4 down.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting them a few yards.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Elliott on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So this drive spanned 7 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Newton to throw. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through him. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Newton. Caught left side by Funchess. And the ball is knocked out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4.
On this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left.
On the ball, on the ball, on the ball.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
We got 3.
To throw on second down. Newton firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now Newton on first down. Heck of a move, but only able to work his way down near the 23. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it a second down. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Offense.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And it's third down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Mike, 57.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now a handoff for Dixon. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. On third down, here's Dixon.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Being chased out left. And he fires one incomplete. Around the NFL, fourth quarter right now in Atlanta. And really pouring it on now are the Falcons. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season.
120!
4 down, check, 4 down, 4 down. Kill, turn up, turn up.
Wentz to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus of the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. And Wentz not going to take the snap here. Instead, he turns and calls a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth.
Hey, 4, Tokyo!
4 down, even.
Go.
The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz going up top. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down. And nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Crash.
To throw on second down is Newton. It's caught by Funchess. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. To throw on third down. Newton. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Desperation time. Newton, fourth down. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles' defense able to hold. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, he's got a man, complete, and an alley to run. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited.
They're coming. They're coming. Right.
Oh.